Welcome back to another video. My name is Aaron and I help people expand their consciousness. Now in this video, I'm going to be sharing with you the ultimate success formula for the law of attraction in order for you to create what you want in your life. Now I believe that this video can give you a simple process that if you apply is guaranteed to work. Now, guaranteed to work. I realize that that is a big statement, but understand that every successful person has used this even if it was at subconscious levels. So the idea behind this is that if we apply it, we will get similar results, and all we have to do is decide that today we are going to take action. That's something that I encourage you to do today, that after this video, you are going to decide what you want to create in your life. You are going to decide to take action, and that is going to bring the results that you want. Now this video is going to mix a technique and a formula that I found from a Tony Robbins book called The Unlimited Power. Is one of his first books, and I'm going to mix and infuse into it understanding the process of the law of attraction at the same time so that we can optimize who we are being in the present moment. Now the first step to this process has to do with simply knowing our outcome. Now knowing our outcome means that we know the effect and the goal that we have for what we want to experience in our life. Now the important part of this with the law of attraction is understanding that we must put it in positive terms. Now what this means is if your goal, for example, is to get out of debt, the idea is that is going to create more of attracting, and that focus is going to cause that resistance. It's going to create more of it in your life. Now the idea behind this is that we must put it in positive terms. So instead of getting out of debt, it is to be financially free, to have this certain amount in our bank account, to have this kind of house or this kind of car, whatever it is. The idea is that we set it in positive terms, and that is very important for what is called our RAS in our brain, the reticular activating system. And when we start to focus on that, we will bring more of that into our life. So first step is simply know your outcome, know what you want to create in your life, and to simply put it into positive terms. Now the second step has to do with developing the sensory acuity with the action that we're taking. So this means that we must take massive action. This is something every successful person has had to do. This is one of the missing links when it comes to the law of attraction, and it's why I always press upon it. Because when you start to take action, everything begins to change. Think of action as the opportunities you are creating in your life. The action is creating more opportunities for what you want to create, for the outcome you have to bring closer and closer to your life and into your life. So the idea is to simply decide to take action and to be aware of how that action is serving you. Be aware of letting go of the resistance, and this is where we get into the law of attraction. Now, what we do is we release the resistance by knowing that whatever we focus on, we will feel. If we're taking action and we're focused on how it's not working, then what ends up happening is that causes more of that feeling within our body. But if instead we simply decide that what we're going to do is we're going to take action, we're going to leverage parts of ourselves that we know is our strengths, and we're going to continue to do that, we will get a certain result. Now, the tip with this, and it's something that Tony Robbins also talks a lot about, is modeling the behavior of someone that's already obtained what you want. Now, the easiest way I found to do this is to read books, and it's to pay attention to the interviews of people that have already done what you want. So me, for example, somebody that sees Tony Robbins as somebody that I very much want to be like in the sense of his career, there's certain things that he's done that have gotten him a certain results. And if I model similar behaviors, if I put out the action and spreading my message to people, if I do those things, it will get a certain type of result. Now the idea is to find out the people that you want to be like. Maybe it's somebody that's a music producer and you read their biography and you see that there's certain things they did that got them to where they are. You can take action and do similar things, and if you use the blueprint they used, you will get similar results. Now this is where we get to the third powerful part of the process, which is understanding to be flexible and to modify our actions until we get the results that we want. Now this simply means that we pay attention to the kind of results that we are getting, and as we do that, we decide to modify it until we get where we want to be. Now Let me explain this in the terms of my YouTube channel, for example. The first step is I had an outcome of what I wanted to create with my YouTube channel. I wanted to reach a certain amount of people. I wanted to impact people in a certain way. That was my outcome. What I did was I set that, and then I simply decided to take action. So what I did was I took action and I decided that I was going to create daily videos. This is back in February. I made a video every single day, and I decided I was going to do that. I thought to myself, what is the one thing that if I did every day in a year would completely change my life? And I thought, hey, that'll be creating a video a day. So I made it a must. I decided to do it. And what I did is I simply took massive action. Now the third step is I modified what was working until I got the result that I wanted. This means I realized there were certain keywords that would do better for others, certain topics that impacted people in a powerful way. There were certain topics that got bigger reach than other topics. So what I started to do was to just modify that until it kept getting the results that I wanted so that I could influence people in the positive way, which was part of my outcome and my intention. I simply modified it. People and successful people use this formula even if it's at unconscious level. One of the highest traits of successful people is their ability to implement fast, is to take action very quickly. And the idea is that as they do that, they start to gain the reference experiences. They start to gain the sensory acuity to what is working to then what isn't working. And then they leverage what is working until they get the results. You can apply this towards anything and understand that this process is guaranteed to work. All you have to do is put in the massive action. Understand that as you first off, the step one, have the outcome of what you want to create. You set it in positive terms. You secondly, just make a decision to take massive action. As you take massive action, you can model people who have already had the success that you want. You can model their physiology, their body language, their tonality. As you do that, you will start to feel like them. And then what you do is the third step is you simply modify it until you get the results that you want. Now, another thing I want to say with this is be very aware of any blocks that you start to associate. Anytime that you start to focus on the things that are bringing more resistance, simply decide to let it go. What I mean by this is sometimes with our definitions alone, we'll say that certain things that happen is a roadblock. And the moment we associate a certain circumstance as a roadblock is the moment that becomes very real for us. That becomes part of our reality. The idea is to know that everything is a part of the process, that we can learn from whatever happens to us, and as we integrate those experiences, everything flows much more smooth. So you have this ability to make your dreams happen today. I encourage you, I implore you to simply decide that right now you are going to find your outcome. You're going to decide that that is what you're going to work for. You're going to take action today towards that, and you're going to begin to modify the action as you go. So with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Feel free to like this video if you like it, subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you guys on the next vid. Peace, much love, namaste.